Kelly, you ready?
We got one more minute.
Okay,
Did you review the minutes, Vinny?
I did.
Okay, wow. I know we're gonna be even that much quicker.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion to approve them as written.
All right.
There was a little bit more minutes than normal, but whatever.
We had that extra meeting, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, it being 7 o'clock on October 5th, 2021, I'd like to call to order the Bellingham Board of Health meeting. I'm Kelly McGovern, the chair. Vinnie Forty Jr. is our vice chair. Tricia Leclerc is absent tonight. Tina Griffin is our minutes clerk. Bruce Wilson is our health agent. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes from September 14th and then September 21st. I've read both of them. Vinnie, do you have any corrections or anything or comments? Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of September 14th and September 21st as written.
okay, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion is passed. Next is COVID policies and procedures. Any updates? How are our numbers doing, Bruce? All that jazz.
Hey, the numbers I pulled offline today represent three figures. So when you hear the numbers, take that number and divide it by 3. There were 3,283 new cases and 68 probable, which puts the percent positivity at 1.69% on the state, which is slowly declining, which is a good indication. The total number of cases to date are 762,675. There are currently 581 people hospitalized with 164 in ICU units with 99 people intubated. There were 12 new deaths in that three-day span there. Vaccines, there have been 4,834,743 Moderna vaccines issued by the state of Massachusetts. 4,330,678 doses of Pfizer and 312,622 cases of J&J. Third dose booster shots to date 138,315. The town is currently have 20 active people and 4 probable people. And the percent positivity won't update until Thursday. So this is last week's number at 2.5%.
So we've been pretty consistent then. It's been.
Yeah. Now we've been holding right around 20. Some come off, some come back on. Hopefully the state gets the vaccines approved so that we can get the younger crowd in there, and hopefully that helps. We had some discussion with the Peter Morano from the school as to whether we want to hold a vaccine clinic to try to catch the rest of the people that didn't get vaccinated, and then the new crowd that comes in. If they get to 80% coverage, then they don't need to be wearing masks in the school according to the CDC requirements, which is something Peter and I would love to both see.
So Bruce, couple of quick things. I see the town is slightly higher than the state's positivity rate by 0.8%.
But that's an old rate, Vinny. That's last week's rate. You only update it once a week. So I expect it to go down.
Okay. The next thing is the boosters. Are they still saying now it's 8 months after your
6 months.
second?
6 months, Vinny.
I thought it was 8. Okay, fine. Okay. And that's being handled by pharmacies or not?
We could hold a vaccine clinic if we see the approval. Right now, it's people over 65 or anybody that has one or more comorbidities. I was able to get mine because I have the asthma and
Okay.
and stuff like that. So I mean, it is available. I got mine at Walgreens. It was real simple. I just called and made an appointment and walked over. So I mean, it is available. If you're interested, I believe you would qualify, Vinny, if you wanted to make an appointment there.
Okay, so
Did
it's,
you have
okay.
Moderna or did you have Pfizer?
I had Moderna, but I
Yeah,
thought it was
that's-
8 months, but that's okay.
That's
So,
what I had, but no, six months. Did you go to Franklin?
yeah, my 8th month will be October 14th, so whatever. It's
Yeah.
next week, either way.
Yeah, next week, so
Yeah,
schedule an
whatever.
appointment if you want it.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, give me a shout if you have any questions.
Okay,
Okay. Next item on the agenda is unattended donation bids and bins and regulations. We just got drafts or regulations from other towns that we want to kind of make into our own. So Vinny, I suggest we wait till another meeting when we have all three of
Okay.
us.
Yep.
We just go through all the one, every on each one and see what you like.
okay,
Highlight, make notes, make questions, whatever. We'll have to see, make sure we put them all together, all three of us, and see, it's
Right,
probably
okay.
gonna be pretty much the same. And then
Yeah.
we have to give it to our town council for them to review. And
Right.
then once that happens, then we can go into a motion. But I really like the Southbridge one. It's
yeah,
so
I
much
agree with
more.
that. There's only a few things I would add to Southbridge. They're
Yeah,
not
well,
clear,
it's gonna
or whatever,
tweak it
that's
us.
fine. I can
Yeah,
put that in.
okay.
But the other thing I said was Bruce sent us something from Attorney Carbo, and he had said if there's
Email
anything we
stuff.
need. So I kind of like that, and I'm probably, once we get our three heads together, put it together, I kind of want him to maybe review that draft and get it
course.
going. So,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's got to definitely look at it before we can do anything.
because he mentioned things about, if you look at Southbridge, he mentioned things about, we can't outright ban them, but we can do just like tobacco. If you have a fourth offense, it's up to the Board of Health. We can technically
Yeah, it's a
ban.
permit. So if
And
they- if
the
they
other
don't
thing I
abide
like
by the
about
permit,
Southbridge is after the first offense, which I want to make 250, 300, kind of nice round number for my idea. But anyway, that said, the second, third offenses require suspensions, and it's just like tobacco. You remove all the product from the shelf. In this case, you remove the bins from the site. So it'll put,
good,
how do I say it? I loved it. The burden is going to be on the owner to make sure the stuff is not out there, not waiting for Planet Aid or another company to
Well,
pick it
I
up.
think going forward, I think it's good that, hey, it's not like we didn't try. All of us have called
Right,
the
right,
donation companies. It's not for us to do. We tried it. We tried it many years. It just
Right.
didn't work. We're gonna have to put it on the establishment to have them follow through, not us.
Yep, yep.
So I think going forward, we're gonna call the establishment, not the donation companies, and
Oh,
have
yeah,
them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I tried. We all tried. Everyone
Yep.
tried.
And
So-
like we said, if we do something like, 24 hours, then they have to go out each night when they close up the store. They lock their dumpster. They need to go out there and take anything on the outside, walk it up. If they're not capable of it, hire somebody. They're gonna walk it up and put it in their dumpster because,
We'll have a discussion about it.
yeah, that's fine.
We'll go
Okay,
through it. We'll go through it.
so I guess
We
I'll
have a
make a
good start- We have a
motion.
good starting point that,
We do.
yeah.
Okay. Then we push it off till next meeting, the
Next
9th.
meeting, be prepared with what you like,
Right.
what sections you like,
Got it.
questions, comments, and then we'll merge them all. I'm sure, like I said, we're gonna have pretty much the same likes
Yep.
on what we want in there. And then
Okay.
we'll talk about fines, we'll talk about violations, we'll go through each bullet point, and then we'll decide as a board what we think
Okay.
is good. All right, so that'll be next meeting. And then after that meeting, hopefully we'll have it together so that we can give it to the attorney. And then the following meeting, hopefully we'll have something we can motion on.
Okay.
Are we gonna look at a permit fee as well? I know the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make that all part of the same thing.
Right, I agree, permit fee. And Bruce brought up a point, since we're gonna try to keep all our permits to December 31st and you have 30 days to pay it. What I said to him was, if we approve it in November, we'll prorate it 1/12 of the permit, and that's it,
Why don't we just
Well,
start it?
But we just started
January.
on, that's fine,
Yeah. It-
that's fine.
We'll start it January 1st, yeah.
Okay, but as long as we don't have to wait till January, if someone's committed a violation, it'll be offense number.
Whatever's on the books now on how we proceed is how we have to proceed through the end of the year.
Fine.
And then starting January 1st, we'll make it, that's the new reg going forward.
Okay,
All right?
Your contact,
A little more time then. It's not that far away.
your contact, Kelly, would they be able to send you a Word document?
No, I got it offline.
Okay, you got it offline.
Yeah,
I know.
I could call the Board of Health in Southbridge and ask them
Yeah,
to
I mean,
send me a.
if you guys are thinking of using that format, it'd make it, a lot simpler than retyping it all.
Maybe if Tina is on, maybe she can ask Laura to call and see if they can send a Word doc.
I
The
might be
chair,
able
the
to
chair
send-
of their Board of Health had told me that, go off of theirs. They've had great success with it. And she's actually the one that told me to go on their website and take a look at it. So,
I had compiled my draft from two to three different towns, actually two towns in Massachusetts and one from an out of state. I mean, this is a problem everywhere. It's not just Bellingham.
It is, yeah.
These bins are a nuisance all over the country.
yeah. But I think putting it on the establishment and hitting them in the pocket is gonna be even better. Honestly, we are much better as far as getting pickups than even our surrounding towns. I mean, I went to Plainville the other day and rent them, just driving through, and their bins, all their stuff has been out there weeks,
Yeah.
never picked up.
I mean, the one thing I have to say, Planet 8 is pretty responsible, and they come every Monday. I mean, they're there at 7 o'clock with the truck.
They may show up to Larry's, but they don't do all the bins in town.
No,
Because the Save More Gas, the vets, they did not pick up. So they might go just to Larry's because we're complaining just about Larry's,
right.
but there's definitely other bins in town that are not getting the attention.
And down at, this week was a microwave sitting in front there for days. I think they picked it up finally.
Yeah, no, it's gone.
The
Yeah.
other thing is, how do we get a mailing list of do we just send the letter or an announcement to every business in town? I mean, the last time I drove around, I don't even know if I got them all. I drove around the whole town, spent all day
Yeah.
going into parking lots and writing all these down. So we have no list.
Because right now there's no permitting, so we don't have a track.
I know.
Right.
So it might be something, everybody that's got a business license, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you even go about doing that?
Yeah, because even if you drove around, you might have missed one. That person
Believe
will
me,
get-
I know I didn't get them all. Now I got
No.
what, 82, Vinny? How many did I have? There was a lot.
Yeah, there was a
I
lot.
couldn't believe how many.
What I'm saying
there
is
were.
you don't want the person you missed to get away with not doing the permit.
Right. And then like, well, I didn't know.
I didn't
get 'em
know,
all.
yeah, you know.
So,
Yeah.
and then I don't know, I didn't read the whole reg, but is there a max of the amount of bins that we can have? I don't even know how you would do that.
Yeah, that's true. We should set a max to it.
I mean, whatever you want to put into it or charge, make the permit fee per box. And then, somebody wants the 6 boxes. like
Absolutely,
the
yeah,
batteries,
yeah,
we
yeah,
get a big permit for it.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be per box. You can't have a place that's
Because
one
if there's
bin.
a maximum of, let's say, 100 boxes and someone wants to get it, like, well, this one's got 12 bins. I only got one. I want to get one more. How can they have 12? And how do you regulate that? I can foresee these questions coming up or the complaints. coming up.
Do a maximum on the number of permits? Is that what you're thinking, Kelly? Okay.
Well, a max amount of bins. I don't know if that's even something to think about. But again, I guess if you put per bin, a permit for per bin, that would probably limit people from how many bins they want, right? So,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
But it has to be that way. You can't have the person paying 3 bins pay, let's say $100, and the person with 1 bin paying $100. No, it can't be that way. It has to be equal.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, it has to be equal to the number of bins you have. So you pay more if you have more, whatever.
Right. Okay. Well, like I said, this is gonna be a good discussion, so
Okay,
be ready next time. Next time, I'm sure it'll be a long one, Vinny. I
Yeah.
can tell.
I'm gonna try and run this through OCR, see what happens. Sometimes it's, good, successful. Sometimes not, but I'll give it a try, see what comes
well,
out.
if not, like I said, you or Laura can call Southbridge and get that copy in a Word.
Yeah, I
It
just
must be a
didn't know if
Word,
you had a
right?
contact here that would
Yeah.
send that, because it's quite lengthy. It's like, what, 7, 8 pages, right?
It's like when you got a PDF, unless you have a way you can convert it. But what I'm saying is most people can't. So it becomes, you can't write in a document and change it,
Yeah.
Mm.
Give it a try.
All right, let's see. next is the inventory list. So Bruce, you got through into that closet, huh?
He was lost in there.
Yeah,
Couldn't find him.
Vinny couldn't even find me with a flashlight.
Right.
Yeah, we need a bigger closet. I did put a request into
It's,
Dennis. I think he CC'd
Yeah,
us, but
I saw that. I was able to organize it a little better, so at least you can get in and work your way to the back if you have to get to it. But
Okay.
we
there's,
got batteries in there that I know have expired. We have a lot of medical supplies and equipment in there that I know we have to get updated. And if,
The
you know,
only,
we are not ready for,
the only batteries that I saw that were, and they're still in the original box, so I don't know. The
I know,
Motorola-
but they expire.
Yeah.
Well, you might have to check those out and see if they'll hold the
I
charge.
was gonna take a box or two and try to charge them up and activate a couple of the radios to see if the battery.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know the radios definitely have batteries, and if they're not being used, you know,
Right. Right.
they expire.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, the last time they were used were the EDS in,
Yeah.
was that 2003, the SARS? Yeah. That was a
But
well, we
long
hope
time
that we
ago.
don't have to use them, but if we need to use them,
The little talkie-walkies there that they have, take AA or AAA batteries.
Oh, really? Okay, good, good.
But
Okay,
we can get readily with our Amazon account.
right. But the Motorola's aren't double A's. They're a
Oh, no,
special
they're a brick.
Motorola.
That's a big brick battery.
Yeah, yeah. Kelly's right on those. Those things do expire. I had them with the military, so the Motorola
Yeah.
batteries, you know,
it's 18 years, 2003.
yeah, 18 years.
Those are, you know, those are not good.
No.
Yeah,
no.
No,
all we can do.
And by
is
the way,
buy-
you can't
I mean,
just
they've
throw
never-
those in the trash, you know.
They've
they have to
never
be
been
disposed
used,
of.
so they may take the charge. We'll have to see.
they expire.
Give it a
They
try.
might. You check them out and see if they hold the charge.
Don't we have the grant money every year or something that we usually spend money on for this stuff?
Yeah, no, I mean, if I put in a grant request, we might be able to get.
Yeah, Jamie Terry should be able to help us with this.
But I know
I
we also
actually-
have other medical supplies in there that expire.
Yeah, yeah.
So we gotta look at all those expiration dates. And if we can get them with our money, our annually, we used to send in a list of what we needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't get into that closet, we didn't know what we needed, so.
And then I've been going to the MEMA site over in Franklin with Chris, and they've got quite a stockpile, so I'll see what we can get over there.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely you don't want gloves or well, not so much masks, gloves that when you put your hand in it, they fall apart, you know, so. Hopefully that won't happen if they're nitriles, but whatever. Latex will break down. They'll turn orange and they'll just fall apart.
Most of the gloves that are in the closet are ones that we used, and we went through quite a few early on with the COVID, so most of the gloves that are in there are fairly new.
Okay, good, good.
We went through.
Yeah,
quite a
because I think when you asked, I said there should be gloves down there. So you probably went through those. That's good.
We went through
Okay.
quite a few, and you know, to help the cause over in Uxbridge, we donated, you know, a fair amount of PPE and gloves too. So all of, you know, a lot of the stuff there is fairly new supplies.
Okay.
Right. Thank you for you and Laura for doing that. All right, so 7:15, 7:18. Okay, so the next order of business is the 30-day request to extend the moving of the chicken coop at 64 Ruth Ellen. And I think I saw a letter that they have come a long way with
Yes,
the pigs and the ducks, I think. And,
Yes.
yeah,
I had spoken to Ryan on the phone where the other applicant there is actually away at school, so Ryan has been spearheading getting the animals placed and trying to get the yard cleaned up. The weather hasn't been the most cooperative for them to do too much work out there, although they have got the ducks and the rabbits relocated. The pigs are supposed to be gone. Yeah, the letter says October 2nd, so they'll probably, if they aren't gone, they'll be gone this weekend. They're sending them off to be slaughtered, and then they'll take the meat and put it into a freezer. But the chicken coop is well buried into the yard, and they need to get some handyman type of things to get in there and dig and be able to get it free so that they can pick it up and move it. So that they've asked for a 30-day extension.
Vinny, I don't have a problem with extending it 30 days.
I don't. I'll make a motion that we grant a 30-day extension to move the chicken coop and run. And, you know, hopefully the ground will be a little bit better in condition and get people in there and move it. So that's my
I'll
motion.
second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is
We have a couple of butters here that would like to speak.
Okay.
I'm not sure who was first, whether it was Nancy or Laura.
She's got to unmute herself.
Yeah, let's go on to Laura. Laura, you got to unmute yourself.
Hi, so yes, it appears the pigs have been moved, but no attempt has been made to clean up anything in that pig sty. There has been no lime, no wood shavings. It smelled horrible all weekend while I was working out in my yard, cutting up trees. The rain made it even worse. I am totally against extending any time, except with the stipulation, because now you're moving into to almost winter, and it will be something else and something else, that if in 30 days from now the chicken coop is not moved, they get rid of it, period.
Oh, we
It's
are trying to work
ridiculous.
with them. We have given them until October 21st to get all of our issues that we were discussing last meeting
Right.
underway. So they do have until the 21st to get that cleaned up. They are doing their, you know, but they're definitely making some progress. They got rid of the pigs. They got rid of the ducks. They are working on the chicken coop, and they know that that is on the list as far as getting everything cleaned up out of there. They do have to the 21st, which is 30 days from the meeting that we had originally. So
The 21st was also the date that the chicken coop was supposed to be moved 20 feet from
right,
my
and
property.
we just extended it 30 days.
Yes, I hear that, and I don't understand why. If it's a zoning
Because it's embedded into the ground. We're trying to help them get it done. So, I mean, if it's something that's not something you can move easily, it's been there. She said, I think, how many years, Vinny? Was it 12, 13?
Yeah, it was quite a
15? I
few
don't
years.
know. It was a long time. It's an affixed piece of, you know, a fixture. That's
Actually, Kelly, it's in the letter. They said that the chicken coop had been there for 6 years. You know,
6 years.
6 years.
Okay.
Well, it's still in there. It's
Yeah.
not something that's easily moved. It's not like it's one of those, we saw a lot of the child plastic things that you could just have
Right,
them move.
right.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
you can
something
move
like
that,
It was, yeah. So it sounds like they are trying to accommodate and help. I think, you know, if we're only trying to assist that.
It's been tough with the weather too. I mean, it has been
Right.
A lot of rain.
a lot of
I
rain.
know.
It just
And-
makes it difficult for them to get out there. And do it.
And for the first thing about cleaning everything up, it is only the 5th now. It's only been a little while since our last meeting, 21st, but you know, they've got from the 21st September to 21st of October to get everything cleaned up. And the only thing that should be left to be dealt with is the chicken coop, which now we would give them to the end of November, because technically it's not 31 days, it's 30 days. So the 30-day extension would be, I guess, 1 December. But that said, it's only for the chicken coop. The cleaning has to be done by the 21st of October. And, you know, we will be out there. I think it said in our, what do you call it, public hearing that we were, you know, whatever, we were gonna make an inspection on the 21st. Bruce,
How
Tim,
does-
whatever.
How does 30 days bring us to December 1st?
No, the chicken coop only from extending it from the 21st of October to the, actually, sorry, it's the 21st of
November.
November. Yeah, sorry about that, yes.
So the 21st of November, the chicken coop.
The chicken coop has to be moved 20 feet away because it's a
By the-
zoning bylaw. So, but everything else has to be done by the 21st of October. And it's at this point, some things have happened, which is pretty good. Because they can't wait till if they wait till the end, they will be in non-compliance, and we will then have to either remove everything and, you know, at their expense, or we will have to fine them until they remove everything. So we'd like to do neither. We'd like them to do due diligence, clean up the neighborhood, get people so they can go out in their backyard and breathe and not have to smell all that stuff. So, you know, it's not a farm, and if you move near a farm, you accept that, but this is completely residential and 10,000 square foot lots, so there's practically no place for odors and noise to go, except into the neighbor's yard, so. Anyway,
Was there somebody else that wanted to speak? Another abutter or neighbor?
Yeah, Nancy, go ahead and unmute yourself, Nancy.
Thanks,
we go.
Bruce. Okay, thanks, Bruce. Now, my concern is that once the ground gets hard, the frost sets in, it's going to be harder to remove that. So if they got a maintenance guy, and I know they know one, I know that for a fact, they could have it removed, cut the legs off, and then dig the remainder out, at least get rid of the chicken coop and clean up the yard. I mean, we've endured this stench for a long, long time. And it's just got progressively worse over the years. So we've been very tolerant, but our tolerance is coming to an end, with this. We've been good neighbors. I've been here for almost 56 years and have never, ever in my life have had to endure anything like this. And I very, very rarely ever complained about anything.
right.
But enough is enough already. I can't go out in my backyard. I tried doing my gardening this weekend and it was near impossible to breathe out there.
Yeah. So Bruce, maybe a suggestion.
I don't think they're getting rid of the chicken coop though.
No,
think they're just
But
moving it.
what
Yeah.
she's saying is if it freezes in the ground, which is possible by the 21st of November, they shouldn't wait to that date. So what I'm thinking is, Bruce, maybe you can call Ryan and say, jack it up so that they can put some dimensional lumber underneath it. And then they can move it as soon as they get the help. But at least the dimensional lumber freezes, we don't care. They can slide it across. If we get frost, let's say, or not so much frost, but freezing temperatures in early November, it only takes a couple of weeks of sub-zero to freeze the ground, several inches, and that's.
Are the owners on to it or not?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Hmm.
But I would suggest that, Bruce, tell them that we've given them an extension, but do not wait till it freezes.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
never gonna be able to move it.
I'll reach out to them and tell them to jump on it.
Because like she brings up, if it freezes, you know what's gonna happen. Instead of lopping it off now, it's gonna be completely removed. And they're gonna have no choice but to destroy it to move it,
The other thing would be to get some lime and get the pigsty cleaned up.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously all that stuff should happen before the 21st of October,
My guess is that's what's so smelly.
Yeah. I mean, this weekend was torrential. I mean, it was like unbelievable. Even today, yesterday and today, the rain was pretty heavy. There was a lot of water out there. Bellingham got close to 2 inches, so.
Yeah, it came down hard.
So just reach out to him, tell him that he has
I'll
his
reach out to
extension.
Ryan
but,
and tell him that they need to.
Yeah, you should jack it up so that,
Get that.
because what it'll say is, I'm gonna say this now, just for Nancy and for Laura, is if it freezes in there, you're gonna dismantle it. I don't care how you do it. You're gonna tear it down and maybe you can move it after you tear it down, maybe you can't, so whatever. But they'll also have to be knowledgeable that if they have to tear the chicken coop down and they can't rebuild it, the chickens can't be all over the neighborhood because the livestock bylaw has teeth in that aspect. We're not gonna have people having chickens in their yard.
I think it's a fenced in yard.
I jotted that down, Vinny, and I'll reach out to Ryan tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Game.
Annual timeline. Yeah, I asked for the annual timeline because I know there's a few things that I wanted to add on there.
Yeah, please, and that we drafted that, take a look at it. If there's other things,
Yeah, we've always had that. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's good to have just to remind us
Right.
what's coming up. But for instance, I wanted make sure all of my food permits were in and make the calls come January. And if they're not in, they don't get.
right, we're gonna be sending out reminders. One of the things,
Yeah, I see that for October. That's perfect. Send out permit
Yep.
renewals.
okay.
Oh,
so
wait, that's renewals. When are the reminders going out?
I wanted to put on the agenda for next meeting. We had talked about permit fees, and Rob and I and the board, we're gonna look at the fees and make any adjustments. And once that is done, so I'm thinking we probably want to, after that meeting, and we come up with what we're gonna do for fees, then send the reminders out.
Okay,
Okay, if that's something we want to put on the timeline, like
Yep.
that month, every year it goes out.
Yeah,
That way
no, once
we
we,
know,
once we,
you know.
once we make an adjustment, and, you know, hopefully Robbie's got some time to be able to work with me. I know, his family's
Yeah.
got some issues right now that they're trying to deal with.
And I see Laura put on inventory update for February, which is great. So that's
Yeah,
added now.
that's a good time, because we're probably pretty slow, so we can go climb through the closet
Yeah.
and take a look.
Well,
That's a
hopefully
good
we
idea.
can find another place to go too, or maybe Dennis can find a room somewhere or
yeah,
something.
We gotta
have more in the closet.
We need to just have an area where we can see everything and
If you,
get to
if
it
you,
easier.
if you come by, we'll go down and take a look, because I did spend a lot of time in reorganizing, so it's not.
Oh,
quite
I've been
so
in
bad.
there multiple times.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
yeah.
not- It's not a place you can get into.
Well,
very
it's an
easily.
under the staircase
It's not
storage
enough.
area, you know.
Duck,
Period. It's
duck
just
your
not
head
enough.
too, so you don't whack it.
Yeah, you're right,
It's
yeah.
just not enough space.
So it's
should
like
look at-
living in a cape house.
We should look at another light in there too, because that one light, this doesn't really hack it too well.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
room with a flashlight. and light it.
Yeah, but like I said, as long as we get a place that's heated, and it can't be an outside shed where paperwork can go, because a lot of that stuff medical stuff, radios, the cold.
Yeah, we need
what
temperature
humidity,
control.
It has to be
Yeah.
temperature, humidity
Yeah.
control. It also destroy the products in there. And then they're
Yeah.
useless if we don't have emergency response products at our disposal, you know.
I mean, even if it's at a different facility somewhere, I mean, I don't know. Is there a room somewhere else? I don't know.
I mean, I kind of would like to have it in the same complex, but not,
We can't
you
be
know.
picky though. If we need.
no,
to
I
have
know,
it,
but
we-
maybe the school administration building, that's, you know,
Yeah, but you gotta remember, when we get an emergency, we gotta be able to have access and have keys to it if we need.
yeah, okay,
You know what
well,
I mean?
we don't.
If it's in the school administration building and you or I or somebody doesn't have a key, we're not getting in there.
Correct, okay, well, that would be an
Well,
obvious. thing
wherever
we have to
wherever
have.
it's gonna be, we have to have access to. it.
Correct, yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the emergencies don't pick a convenient time to happen, so.
right. But you gotta realize, if we have it in a location that's greater distance, you can't go look at it as easily, and I'm not sure where you'd put it, you know? I'd hate to move it to, you know, someplace in the high school or the DPW. or
Well,
the
let's see where he
library.
can find. I'm sure, let's see what he can find. And,
Yeah, that's what we could do. And if we need next time here, I'll take it down, we'll take a look. The cones and the folding chairs and stuff are things we could put off-site, because that would be typically if we were to do some sort of a clinic or something, we have time to plan.
Correct, yeah, we could do that offsite, I agree with that, yeah.
I was working with Chris on that, because they were thinking of getting a roll-off or one of those boxes that they could put those in, where the chairs are plastic and the cones are all plastic. That's something that doesn't need the temperature control.
Correct. Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So that'll help, because those are in the storage room with the big refrigerator in it,
Yeah,
out in the middle of the floor. So we want to try to take care of those. If he can't do it there, I can put them. I've got room in my old kennel barn for now. Get them out of there, and then we'll sort something out just to so we can get into the storage unit and put files in such a way.
I'm sure I'll find something for us.
yeah, okay.
Okay, next is, let's see, I think it's just bills.
Okay.
Actually, can I butt in for 1 second? The agenda that Laura sent us in the packet is not the agenda that's posted on the website. There's
Yeah,
we
things
did-
missing
We
from
did
this
have
one.
there
We're
was a
supposed to have Rob talking about the software discussion, and we're
Yes.
also supposed to have health agent updates about the flu clinic.
Yeah, Rob wasn't coming tonight, so we'll postpone
here.
that, right?
Robbie's on.
Is he here? Oh,
Rob
okay.
is
Yeah,
on.
yeah, he's here.
All right. Bruce had told me he wasn't gonna be here, so.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
to be honest, my things have spiraled downward with my grandfather. He was read his last rites on Friday, and it's been touch and go for the past few days. But we're both here for this meeting.
Okay,
Sorry about
so I
that.
think Kelly, have Robert discuss the software thing, and
Well, just a minute, I know Laura sent us,
She said revised, right?
Well, I've got the inventory and I've got the October calendar. I'm just looking for the revised. Are those the only two things I'm missing, Tina, or just those two?
Yeah, there was
things?
an agenda posted, when Laura, not typically in on Friday, that Tina and I worked up, but when Laura printed that for your packet this morning, she didn't get the revised.
Okay, I don't have that one then.
It's on the town website. It is those are the only two things missing, software discussion
Okay,
and health agent updates for the flu clinic.
okay.
Well, let's do it. You know, pick one. Which one's first?
Oh, flu clinics, real quick. October 8th, there's a flu clinic at the senior center, which is, on location at the senior center for all of the seniors here. That's being hosted by Josie and Terry over there. Walgreens is the medical firm that's going to be, administering the shots. And then on the 19th, it'll be at the town hall in the Arcan room from 1 to 3. And then on the 22nd, we'll be at the nurses station at the high school for the employees of the school. And that will be from 3 to 6 p.m.
Okay.
Got it.
And again, that's all being administered and paperwork and everything handled by Walgreens.
Good.
Okay.
So that,
All right.
that makes it simple, and we didn't have to order any vaccine or store it in the fridge or anything.
So we're still trying to get, you said a certain number for the 19th. Is
I
that
did
still
make it. I got it, Vinny. I recruited enough souls.
good? Okay. So I can go if I want and, whatever, just
Yeah, if you
fill
can't,
out the paperwork.
don't
Right?
feel like you're voiding my contract and I'll have to pay out.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, whatever. We'll see. I will let you know before the 19th.
Well, you should come and get it. You need it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
You get the
whatever.
special shot too. You're over 65.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so Robbie's here with us to talk about the discussion of the software that we have for our tobacco and our food inspections. I know we're doing a training on Friday morning, Bruce. What time was it? Training, was it
I
11?
believe it's at
I just
11.
opened the email, but I did
11?
11. Yeah, that sounds right. That is by in person or Zoom. Yeah, it's on the calendar at 11. And then
Are we all doing Zoom or are we all going in?
you can come in or you can get a Zoom link, whichever works for you. It's
What's the time, Bruce? Friday?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Okay.
Vinny, if we both go, we have to post it.
Okay.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Well,
I can go. I've got the morning open, so.
okay, go. That's fine. So we don't both have to go, right? To train on this or not?
It's not, it's just a discussion as to whether we are gonna stick with Robbie's training, software system or go with Permittees. We're being told that, Permittees might be able to do the same thing as what Robbie's software is, so he's just gonna
Okay.
show us that. And then I'll come back to the board and we'll. have
That's
a
fine. Okay, you
discussion
do
on
it,
the
Cal.
next
That's fine. That works for me.
meeting.
I think what we're trying to achieve here is getting the products that Robbie is working with in a format that can be inserted into the Permittees, and then people have, access that maybe we're looking for. So that's something that, Rob and I and Permittees have been trying to work out, and I'll let Robbie explain a little more because he's been more working at it longer. But it's something we've been struggling with for a few months here, trying to get it in a format that makes it simple to insert the final product so that people have access to it. But go ahead,
One
Robbie.
thing, okay, sorry. I was gonna say just one quick thing. Is this the reason, Rob, you can address this? Is this the reason why it wouldn't go into permitized and then everybody wasn't renewing their food permits? Is that part of the reason? Or is that
It
a
is-
good excuse?
Those are two separate issues.
Two separate, okay.
That was just an error in the permanized system where they don't seem to, again, me not using the system every day,
Right.
they don't seem to have a way kind of ironed out yet. They're kind of learning with us as we're learning with them.
Okay.
That would have been able to flag that.
Correct.
Basically, the issue that we're running into now is Permitize has their own quote unquote inspection software, similar to what I use with Food Code Pro, where everything's already integrated into the system. So I generate my report from Permitize, Permitize pulls all the information from their permit to, put in their permit number, email, all of that, their contact information. And as soon as I finish the report, it automatically is saved to their file, so anyone with a Permitize account can log in and access it. As of right now, I don't know if it's because the file sizes were too large or they just weren't saving in the correct spot, but I had attempted to upload, I spent hours uploading all of the reports from Food Code Pro a few months ago, and none of them stuck into the system.
Really? Yeah.
So we're trying to work something out with either Food Code Pro where we can get all PDFs that we can put in or something to that effect that Permitize can accept, at least to get the backlog. And then obviously we have the meeting on Friday to kind of see which software would be better. I think that the discussion was on there because Food Code Pro actually sent us an invoice. We had our first year for free through them because we applied and were granted the grant. But they invoiced us back in June while all of this has kind of been taking place, where we're trying to figure out which program is better. So
Okay.
I know that that's one of the next items. So I wasn't sure which way we were going to go with that.
Okay. Do you have a preference, not knowing maybe as much about Permitize, but is the program that you had, that Food Pro Call, whatever, is that a better program to you, or do you still need to evaluate both upfront?
I would have to give Permitize a fair evaluation. My first impression is that Food Code Pro is a bit more inspector user friendly and has more of the items that I like to see, or that you guys would like to see on an inspection report, where
Correct.
it has,
Yeah.
from first glance, those line items to put in, temperatures or things like that.
Right.
And it has the full code loaded in. So if I ever have a question on anything, it gives
Perfect,
me
yeah.
all of the definitions.
Okay.
Whereas I haven't seen that from Permitize yet.
Okay.
The only other thing with Food Code Pro is we actually get 3 modules for that same price. So we currently have Food Code Pro for food. They are waiting to start our housing license, and they are actually building me a tobacco
Okay.
program as well.
That's very interesting, and I think very good too. So that's interesting. You'll have to give the other guys a fair shot, but whatever you do, don't settle for I would say it.
Well, we got to go with what's right for everyone
Correct.
involved.
Yeah, and
But at the
more
same time,
precise and the more accurate. And like I said, having the codes, not having to remember every code, just
Correct.
pull it up and gets it logged in, gets a better inspection, and it's more accountable. You're not telling someone, well, it's against the food code. I can't tell you which one it is, but whatever,
I did reach out to Franklin, Kathleen Liberty over there. They're using that same program and that housing code, and it's actually a great program. You go into a housing situation, you type in your problem, and it puts it into context, into and generates a report with the proper violation and such. So it's a great program. Franklin's using the same software. So, it's nice because if Rob or I have a question, we can reach out to Kathleen or Ginny over in Franklin, and they'll help us through with it too. So, I mean, it's working out really well for them. So.
Okay, well, that's good testimonies. And second of all, like I said, Kel, have at it Friday, and Rob, you too, and then let's see what happens.
yeah, it'd be great if it was all one system.
Yes, and like I said, if Permitize can't incorporate the other two things, I don't put it this way here. If we waste time, it's costing us money, and it's probably not as efficient and accurate. The other way, we get, how do I say it, 3 cookbooks for the price of 1, or maybe 3 for the price of 3.
Yeah.
But it's more suited now to our agent doing inspections, Bruce for the housing, let's say, Rob for tobacco and food, to get this thing totally squared away. And whatever.
It would sure help, because the housing has come to an escalation. All of the restrictions on eviction being lifted. So I mean, it's some of the complaints are legit and some of them aren't, and then you get the fact that we establish that there's a problem, but the tenants aren't allowing the landlords to deal with the issues. So
And no snakes in there, right? Okay, got it.
Yeah, no snakes.
Couldn't resist that.
That's not a Board of Health thing anyway.
It isn't, but you know.
It is not a Board of Health issue.
Okay. I just have to
All right.
throw that out there, you know.
It is a infestation that falls where it needs to have an exterminator, so I guess it's kind of,
Yeah, they call their landlord for that. That's not a Board of Health thing.
but I did meet with the landlord and the exterminator in that situation, although I didn't get up close and personal with the snakes.
Okay,
Ivan, you want to do the bills?
Yep. Okay, so. Let me get my hands on them. Too much paperwork over here. Okay. Have to make a motion, we pay Amazon $62.99 for a hard drive.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to pay Amazon $32.67 for office supplies. So,
I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
aye,
Aye, motion passes.
okay. Like to make a
No,
motion.
I think we're gonna hold off on the next one because we don't know yet whether we're going to. use
Okay,
the
got it.
system.
Okay.
Am I reading that right, Bruce and
It
Robbie?
is. Right.
Yeah, a lot of it's gonna depend on what we see Friday,
Decide
and,
on Friday, yeah.
and feedback from Rob.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
this will
don't
go
sign that.
next meeting, Kelly? This
Yeah,
will-
yeah.
Okay,
Don't sign it. Leave it in the file for Laura and then
okay.
that one we'll look at. I mean, it says net 30 and the due date was August. Are you gonna be
Yeah, I
cut
know.
off, Robbie?
They have not cut me off yet because they were doing it as a good faith arrangement. We had actually already voted to approve this
Oh,
prior,
we did.
Okay.
but there was no, I don't believe that you guys actually signed off on the invoice, so they resent it.
If
But
we
I know
already
that we
made a
discussed it.
motion on this, then it should be
Right.
paid.
Yeah, it should be
Yeah,
paid.
I think we made the motion
This
back
is
in
months
April. and May.
prior already used, so,
Yeah.
and if that's the case, Vinny, then we have to make well, we don't have to make a motion, we already made a
We already
motion.
did
We have
it,
to
yeah.
sign
We just have to sign
After
it,
the,
yeah.
After the time you guys took the vote, they had not produced an invoice at that point, so it came in after you.
You know what, Vinny, make a motion to shoot over, just so
Okay,
we make sure.
like to make a motion, we paid Relevant Systems, Inc., $3,775 for Food Code Pro Health. And there's two of them there, licenses, and then Relevant Loaner iPads was $175. So total of $3,775.
Okay. I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye,
Aye, motion passes. So this is actually good through June 30th of 2022.
I mean,
Yes.
at this, at this point, it doesn't mean you can't go there, but
Right,
it also gives us something. I sort of feel better now because I said, Robbie had a whole year with this. I put it this way, call me wrong if I'm saying it wrong. He likes the way it is. And now they're tailoring a program that's going to handle tobacco and a few other things for us, code and everything else. And it's not that we're saying we can't say what's it, whatever the ease is, that we can go over them, but they have to match exactly what we're getting,
and if Permatize is something that we can use or eventually use or get these modules that aren't included now, but maybe will be come next year, you never know.
Right,
We can relook at it, but we'll still take a look at it, obviously. I mean.
correct.
it
The
is
only
nice to have
things
everything.
the only things I'm familiar with between the two is that Permatize is obviously directly connected. So we have been working with Relevant Systems to see if there's something we can figure out to get basically if I finish a report in the field, that it automatically goes into their file. Their workaround right now is they are currently setting up my iPad so that whenever I finish a report and send the copy to the establishment, that it actually CCs the office as well. So the office will get an email every time that I sign off
Okay,
on a report.
okay. Got it.
That's great.
And they did say that there's an API, there is an option where if Permatize is willing to share their API with Relevant, that they could create something so that, every 5 minutes or something, it will search the database, and if it sees a new report is entered, it'll automatically grab it and put it in the file.
Wow, that's
Um,
great.
Okay,
But again, that's all stuff we can figure out after Friday.
right, right.
So
So currently you have to kind of copy it and then email it or whatever you have to do to make it get
Upload
to
it.
the office, upload it,
yeah. So
Okay.
that was our issue before, is when I'm out in the field, I download it as a PDF to the iPad to send it to the establishment. And then I was trying to upload that same PDF to
The town
to
office.
Permitize, but it wasn't working for some reason.
Okay, okay.
My only thought was that the file size might have been too large, because some of them are 15 and 20 pages, just depending on how much temperature readings or things like that there are. So
That was the reason why Rob and I got, what do you call it, the external hard drives.
Right, right.
The
Well,
external
my
hard drives.
question to you, Rob, is if the files are big because the program's extensive, is Permitize going to be able to do this for us? If not, we're going to have to do it the other way, like you said, upload it manually or whatever. I mean, we're paying you to get the inspection done, the report filed and set it properly in the books. I'd say, I don't care, we'll pay for that. The other company has to do, it can't do what you call like streamlined, abridged reporting, because, like you said, if there's a series of temperatures on 10 items, you don't say like, well, we'll just pick the worst one and the others are okay. No, they might be in violation.
Yeah.
They may not be as critical, but I don't want to hear that when someone gets sick or worse, because someone says, well, the program we had just didn't want to get, how do I say it, wordy or extensive on temperatures or whatever other thing. No, it has to be able to allow multiple entries of every violation that you find. It's not one freezer in a supermarket, it's all of them. It's one refrigerator, it's all of them. It's not one. If they're all normal, I guess you could lump them and say these shouldn't take that much space because whatever, I don't know, but it's entering a number, so it should be able to enter in multiple numbers, even if it's hundreds, whatever. You're making the effort to measure it, it should be recorded.
From what I have seen of Permitize, it seems to be the inverse of the software that we currently have, where it starts off with the FDA checklist and you move your way down. Whereas with Food Code Pro, you put in all your violations, you put in your temperatures, you do your report, and then it generates the checklist.
Okay, okay.
So it could just be me not being as familiar with Permitize. I haven't seen those functionalities yet, but that's what the training on Friday is supposed to be.
Friday should work that out, hopefully. Okay, great. Okay.
All right, so good and welfare.
Yeah.
Since both Bruce and Robbie are on, looks like we got an email from DPW regarding grease in oil traps. Did we address that email?
I reached out to Rob today. Currently, there is no permitting. There's no checklist or anything with that under DEP section 310-15.
It's part of our food inspection though, isn't it? They have to
It
have
is-
proof that they had a
It
clean.
is.
They should do, depending on the size of it, according to DEP, they should do, if it's over 2,000 gallons per day, they should do every 3 months an inspection. If
Yeah.
it's under 2,000, an annual.
Isn't that something we look to make sure they have an invoice that it was done? I remember this coming up before.
Right,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I
And
was.
we have something, right, Vin?
We did, yeah, this came up
Because we had
before.
grease fire and we had it right then, so I know we have something.
But I was going to incorporate that in the reminder letters that we need, an annual report due by January 31, according to the DEP.
Okay. So this is not the inspection of the hoods for grease, Kel. I think
No,
this is the discharge tank.
This is the
I understand.
the tank that's out in the yard, the grease trap.
Correct, the grease trap. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
put that
Now,
on the
they-
timeline. If we do it every January 3rd or 3rd January, just put that on the timeline so we know
Right,
when.
that's
it's
right. I was gonna update the reminder letter that goes out with the, we need to have those reports, or they need to be available when Rob comes in to do his
Right,
food
right.
report.
Yeah.
It is
Is that
currently an
current?
inspection item.
Thank you.
It is, basically, it was just an inspection item to make sure that they had someone taking care of it.
That's what I thought.
95% of the time that I'm there for an inspection, there's not a manager on site that can, get me those records. But
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that restaurants send their soft serve results to the office, so maybe they can do it in a similar fashion.
Correct, yeah, yeah. Because that is critical, because I'm assuming since it came from DPW. Years ago, the Board of Health sponsored, and I think it was at the town hall and I know, I don't know if Don was there at that time, but I know Wilfred Ockham was. But anyway, we did a seminar on fats, oils, and grease. A guy by the name of, anyway, he was out of Walpole. And I had got his name from Robin Chappelle out of Walpole, health agent. But he was saying that fats and oils and grease, especially when they get into a sewer system, they destroy the pipes, just destroy it. What it also does is destroy the cast iron pipes leading from the kitchen to the grease traps. And what happens?
I did reach out to Kristen at the Charles River Watershed Pollution Control site there.
Okay,
And she mentioned that Milford had a pretty good policy. So I talked to Jackie and Joan over in Milford. They sent me their policy. So I was going to look at that. We may
Good,
want to
okay.
incorporate what they did into our Board
Right.
of Health septic reg,
Right.
and follow that. But again, the whole thing is when we do the reminder for the thing there, to include that with it, so people will know that we're looking for that.
A report for that.
report, right.
Okay.
And then if we put it in that reminder, if we don't have the report, that we're not going to be issuing a permit until everything is in place, type of thing.
Okay. So we're not sort of throwing this on Robbie, but if Robbie can ask at the time he's going around and do an inspection, that report goes from him to you. Or vice
They're
versa.
supposed to post that on the wall with all their other stuff.
Okay, good. Okay, fine.
But that doesn't always happen. And then,
Right.
they know that, and Robbie and I are we teach as well as inspect, right, Robbie?
Yeah.
Yes, it's very much a learning experience for both of us out there.
Right.
With a lot of the businesses. I mean, most of them don't even have their permits up, let alone, in reports like that.
Right.
They've
Yeah.
they have come a long way since Robbie and I both come on, though.
Yeah.
There were a few establishments that I would have never eaten at before that now I'm comfortable.
Okay. Well, the other thing too, like I said, the one that Kelly brings up is there was quite a few, but then there was couple of them that were serious, where there was no hood cleaning every 6 months. It was like 2 or 3 years, and there was a major fire, and the roof contained about, I don't know, 6 inches of grease. Yeah.
The hoods, just so you know, Vinny, the hoods are inspected by fire marshal or
Correct.
Yeah, we do know that. Yeah.
as well as the building department. Tim goes out and does an annual too. So I
But
mean,
for the food thing, they have to
We
show
added
us
that.
that
Right,
there's
but
a
I'm just saying
cleaning inspection.
that
Correct.
shouldn't be a problem with all of the inspections, so that, these people are aware. And I'll tell you, nobody's more thorough than Chris when it comes to an inspection.
No, but what I'm saying is this would happen way before Chris, and even maybe before Steve.
Yeah,
Maybe not. It might have had it happen at the end of Chief Ranieri, or the beginning of Chief Gentile.
but I
But
mean,
what happened was,
all I can say
there was
is
an issue where people were not doing the cleanings. And then also grease, when they're cooking on hamburgers or steaks or other thing, was falling out of the product, which is
Yeah.
old rancid grease
Yep.
onto.
Vinny, I think it was like 13, 14 years ago. That's how long I've been on. It was at the very beginning when I started.
Okay,
So it was
so-
probably 14, 13 years
So
ago.
then it was under Chief Ranieri. But either way, the response was the fire department had said to us, because we didn't have a reg in there. As part of our food inspections, you got to prove that you've had your hoods, and depends on the type of restaurant, type of facility, how many cleanings you have to have per year. And I think it's 2 for most places. Limited.
We started to get really technical when we had the COVID inspections, Vinny. So we
Right.
had, the COVID team go out to each of the restaurants and do these inspections. So at that
Okay.
point, Tim looked at certain things, Chris looked at certain things, I'm looking for certain things. And then we were looking at the spacing and the seating. So I mean, these restaurants have all been well educated over the last.
Right, but that said,
One thing-
this is totally separate because it has to do with the septic end, which if obviously. if
Oh,
our
yeah,
septic
definitely.
regs don't have
Definitely.
this in there, other than I'm sure it says when you put in a restaurant, you'll put in a 2,000 gallon grease trap, 1,500 gallon waste trap for human waste and bathrooms and stuff and sinks. But, you know, sinks that are not used for cooking. That said, those are just simply the installation regs. It's in the plumbing code and it's in the septic code.
Right.
But pumping it, you know, it's like people pumping their houses. They pump it when they feel like it, you know. But
Well,
we should
currently,
mandate those
when
things.
they
are done.
pump the grease trap, there's no bill of lading. Typically, the septic truck takes that and mixes it with a load from a
Does,
residential
okay,
to get the PPM down, so it would pass and be accepted at the treatment plant. But there
Okay.
is no requirement for them to do like you get a pumping slip for a septic. There is no requirement for the
Oh,
pumping
really? Okay, okay.
of that, other than the owner is supposed to keep record of it, which is
Okay.
what
Well,
we're in the process
that's
of educating that, hey, when that happens, we need a record of it.
correct, yeah. So
I-
would this
I
be
think
only
you'll-
private? Is this only private or because it involves Don? It must be, the grease trap is separate.
Don put it in my lap, let's put it that way.
Okay, fine, okay. Well, I agree. That should. That's,
should be.
how do we call it? You
It
picked
should be
up
in
on-
our,
It should be on our list, yeah.
But we're all, I mean, Don, myself, Kristen from Charles River, I think we're gonna see Charles River come up with some sort of a regulation that they want to see happen all across the board for, I think,
Okay.
is there 13 communities that send their sewage to the treatment plant?
Medway, yeah, treatment, yeah. Okay,
So I
so
think-
Rob would inspect for like a license or this or that.
They should,
He would also see inspection report for the
they
pumping
should
of
be
the.
posting that with all of their other paperwork, along with, you know, like
Correct.
their serve safe certificate and their
Good,
choking
okay, good.
certificate. It should be on the wall with that. So that's, you know, one of the things that Rob and I are gonna have to, you know, educate them that that's supposed to be there.
Right, and if it isn't, then you can't get your permit until you get it posted, you know,
Right.
whatever. I mean, it's just like you have to have your serve safe person for each shift posted. You have to have the person there, just in case, you know, we get there and there's critical violations. We want to talk to, you know, not the janitor, not the cook. We want to talk to the serve
You've
safe
got,
person.
you've got a lot of new staff with COVID that people just need to be educated on the rules and requirements. That's one of the reasons
Yeah,
we upped all of Robbie's inspections before.
Right, okay,
There was also an email today, and I just forwarded it to Tim because I don't think it's us. I don't know if you saw it yet. It went out to all of us at the Board of Health, I think.
I didn't see it yet, but that's okay.
Don Mayer from New Pro Home Improvement. I forwarded it on to Tim.
Oh, I
It's
didn't
not
see that
us,
one
it's a
yet.
build- It's a building. It came at 252.
Okay,
So I forwarded it to him. It has something to do with extending a tub and a shower and plumbing. It's not us.
That's
So,
plumbing code, yeah, not building.
Yeah.
not
I
a-
sent it to him.
I did see that and I sent it over. I talked to Tim too. I was out doing a perk and okay. Yeah, when you said the tub, they were talking about the drain size pipe that they were gonna have to run.
Yeah,
Hey, Ben, I think, is that everything?
okay. I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
All right, I second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Good night. Thank
Okay,
you.
good night, have a great
All right,
night.
see you guys.